All right, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live on SABC2. Now let's cross back to the Northwest, Vryburg, to be exact, where Ayanda Alipane is standing by. Ruth Mompati is being buried today. Ayanda, a very good morning to you.
I'm really tempted.
Well, good morning to you, Lebo. Once again, the church service here is well underway. A sermon, hymns and prayers are the order of the day. Quite interestingly enough, Lebo, as the coffin of Mama Ruta was being brought in, women had surrounded it and they're standing by it as we speak. Something that the locals here is quite common, they say, if you were a member of the guild, the women's guild in the church, but perhaps could also be symbolic of the role that Mama Ruta played in the lives of many a women across the country. So fittingly, I'm surrounded by women from the ANC Women's League and also Minister of Environmental Affairs, Mama Edna Molewa. She's also speaking to us in her capacity as a Women's League, a prominent member there, and also someone who was the former Premier of the Northwest Province. So you worked extensively with Mama Ruta. Could you tell us a little bit about her contribution and how you worked together?
Oh, this is really a great loss. She was a bit old, not so well lately, but yes, indeed, she was a great person, a giant, very soft-spoken person, but at the same time being so firm, like you won't believe, and really at all times displaying humility. You know, you don't find that mix of things in a human being, of characters in a human being. She would be so soft when we were working with her, telling you exactly what you shouldn't do, but in a nice and soft manner. Of course, I've worked with her. In the Women's League, she was a leader. I mean, we were actually going for a conference. As a spokesperson of the ANC Women's League, we would have been at the conference this week, but we felt that we should actually set aside this day for being here as we pay our last respect to her. We know that if she was well, she would have been right there at that conference to say, hi, Makosikas, you've got to do the right things. And indeed, she would have been there. So in my capacity as her leader, which she denied, I knew that she was always a leader to me. And we used to have this little argument that says, no, you go last on the program because of your seniority. You go last. And she would say, no, you are my premier. I say, no, don't teach me things that I haven't learned differently. So you are the last. So that's Mama Ruth for you. No matter you were a premier. I mean, here she would organize this hospice that she organized here. I remember at some stage she organized when this town was quite filthy. She said, I'm getting every assistance and support. When she came back from being an ambassador, she brought trucks here that helped actually refurbish and clean this town. She used to want to see every woman being dignified and being treated like a human being, deserving to be a true South African. So that's why she's got so many honors in the human rights and the humanity, and because she really was very, very good. And I think that she was an example for all of us to follow. We need to follow on her strides. She used to be a unifier. Whenever there was a tiff amongst us, she would call you nicely, come Tandi, come Edna, sit down. I've got to listen to you talking. And we would resolve all those things. Wherever there was a tiff, she really wanted everybody and everywhere to have harmony and all of us be living peacefully as South Africans. This is what she fought for. Being the first woman to join the MK and really carrying those rifles and training and living such a difficult life, having left her children here, and to be training also in the Soviet Union. It really exemplified what she stood for. She wanted to see a prosperous South Africa. So let's remain working for it. All of us as women, as children, as the elderly, I think that's what we really owe her.
In a more frivolous note now, if I can go there, you and I were joking a little bit off air about your attire, and you were saying, oh, I must find something green to put under just to represent the ANC Women's League. I read somewhere that she was also very meticulous about her dress sense and that you would never catch her anywhere with her outfit out of place. Just share that about her. She was very, very, I understand, serious about how her appearance was. Can you share that with us?
Let's start with the hair. You would never see her hair a single strand being out of tune. She would be meticulous in her stockings, walking straight. Even up to this point in time, when she off late was supposed to walk on a stick, she put it aside and wanted to walk on it. And she would not just do that on her own, alone. She would call you if you're just out of sync and say, hi, ngwana ke jaanong ke eng o sa apara sentle ke batla gore lo apara sentle lo bonagale gore nyena le bana ba rona ba African National Congress. So she would even guide us in how to to put on their blouse. It's not just green that I'm going to get. It's the blouse that she used to be so meticulous. And Mam Betha, really, I've got to have it before I leave this place. As soon as we get to the stadium, just to say goodbye, Mama Ruth. You work so much for the women of this country, and in particular, you build the Women's League. Remember, she's one of the women who were actually sent by the African National Congress to represent the women's desk in various meetings internationally because they trusted that she would really defend the position of women so hard that we would actually today have these hard-won struggles and really hard-fought for achievements that we've made. Let's not make a mistake. We have achieved a lot as South Africa. We have these houses, we have these roads, we have these electricity all over installed because of her and many others who fought for us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Indeed, she was a valiant soldier. And as you can see, she was beautiful, not only outside, but inside as well. So I'm going to ask you to quickly go and get that blouse, lest she wave at you from heaven and says, you're out of order. Thank you so much for your time. Environmental Affairs Minister Edna Molewa, just sharing some of the memories that she had shared with Dr. Ruth Mompati. More in just a moment. Do stay with us.